Hello. Really? They don't notice this, right? Oh, that's a steep angle, I guess. Oops. How do you not notice the gigantic fireball? Holy crap, this is a power. It's a complete faith build, though, as the way it stands now. Shotgun. But granted, I think these guys are what? Weak against fire, so. This is more of a complete fire build than anything. Even my scythe wields fire now. Wait a minute, can I? Yep. My scrawny little arm couldn't get the fire thrown out of the door frame. Hey, big guy. I kind of like the way I can swirl my scythe around like that. Feels fast. I know the whole jumping in the air thing is cool and all, but it doesn't give me any options to pick fire with it. It's always ice. Though I guess the DLC might help with that. Yeah, it's like, I'm like the mom. I don't care who started it, I'm finishing it. Plus that can happen if you're in the air, and I figure players would be easier at knocking your ass down than the AI. Right? Now be careful where you fly, there's a lightning storm out. God, that's got some range. Sorry I haven't streamed in a couple days. It's just watching all the BS Sony's been pulling kind of made me not want to play games in general. Oh look, all these enemies in one big grouping. I'm on Moog. I keep dying on his Nihil. Almost killed him each try. 2 minutes though. There's a special thing you can get to make your Wonder Flask make you immune to that. It's one of the, it's, what is it? I have it. It's part of your Wondrous Flask. It's one of these that makes you immune to Moog's special thing. You add it in there and drink it when he goes to do it, and you'll be immune. That's it right there. Purifying Crystal Tear. Purifies the Lord of Blood's curse in a mixed physic. And you do that with the protection one, and you'll be immune to his move entirely. So he can't kill you with that upward stabbing blood ritual thing. You'll be good to go. That should help you.
There's a face I've not seen before. I'm Edgar, warden of this castle, as ordained by Lord Godric himself. So you can see how things have turned out. The menials have all rebelled. They gave me good service, or so I thought. But it seems it was all
bleed is based off arcane. So whatever your arcane is, and it scales with that.
Inside and out.
If you have a weapon that's A or S bleed with high arcane of 40 to 60, you'll bleed constantly. And it'll do a lot of damage.
Now then, away with you. You've no reason to risk your neck dawdling here, eh? Now then, away with you. You've no reason.
Because attribute scaling does somewhat help, but I'm finding... Wait, when did I get the bow? Yeah. Depending on how you do certain quests, you can get different rewards. Well, I'm running out of FP, that's not good. Though there is a grace right down here. Please help me. I'm of noble blood. If those hideous morgels eat me, I'll forever be mauled. Yeah, if you use a something happens there apparently, or something like that. I forget. I'm surprised how many things are weak to fire in this game. Yeah, I got bleed going off from mine too, but my bleed is... Whoops! I kind of jumped down without thinking about grabbing that, huh? Oh well. No biggie. I do like how my character looks, though. He's just a scrawny little thing covered in bandages and broken down armor. Also, depending on your talismans you have equipped too can determine that. Holy should be OP, right? Most things. Unnatural being then things. Actually, no. Holy's good at the beginning, but as you progress through the game, more and more enemies are more towards the holy side. Which makes it harder and harder to kill them with holy. If anything, fire and lightning are really powerful. Lightning has the lowest defense of all enemies. They can't really defend against it too well for some reason. Why? I don't know why lightning. Lightning is just too damn powerful. There we go. Almost bit the dust right there. Because I accidentally missed my drop off. I think whips are the least used weapons I've seen so far. Other than shields. As an actual weapon. The whips are actually very powerful. I believe you can get a whip, give it bleed effect with if it has a bleed. If there's a whip with a bleed effect, and you give it ocular or whatever the very bottom thing is, it will bleed an enemy so fast to make your head spin. The what? Sword isn't used a lot. Yeah, this game is pretty good about making weapons. All weapons are viable. It's just depending on how the player wants to play. It's just some weapons are niche because people don't like to play with them much. Hell, scythes used to be considered niche as well, where people didn't like playing with them either. But they've grown in popularity since the last update, and now they bleed like a crazy. Not to mention, you can't block with them with against shields. They'll still do damage even if you block with a shield. I think scythes only became popular for one reason, is because of the shield poke that was becoming a big thing. Because everyone's like blocking with a shield with poking weapons. So because of that, people just decided to start using certain weapons to, well, stop the blocking. In other words, there was a need and it filled the need. I believe whips go past shields too. sword that gives you health, pretty much. Yeah, I kind of made my own weapon, and I just started regaining health on my own, too. Yeah, the first time I fought this guy, I bullied him. The first time I fought this enemy, I bullied the crap out of him with a freaking shield. He didn't move at all. That was hilarious. I don't know if you saw that, Hoods. When I first fought that guy with my shield on my right hand, I beat him so to a pulp, it just kept flopping on the ground. He just literally went flop, 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 like a fish on a boat. He couldn't move, like, at all. It was devastating. I wish I could toss an ice spell, but there's no spells that let me just throw balls of ice. Yeah, these guys are this blind, by the way. For some reason, they can't see me when I do that. How do they not notice me? I use a bow, they would notice me in a heartbeat. Hi. Yeah, you just noticed me now after I wipe everyone out? That's stupid. Jesus. Other than needing more FP, I have 60 HP. I'm good for the whole game. I don't need any more health than that, but I do need more FP and HP. Weirdly enough, your stats don't determine your damage output by much. It does make somewhat of a mark, but it's not the end-all be-all for your damage output. It's your scaling and what level your weapon is. So depending on the scaling of your weapon determines a lot of that. So some people could min-max and say, oh, this is the best, but... See? No blocking. You can't block this shit. It's best to go in full aggressive against it or just bide your time and hopefully kill them from a distance. Problem is I built this to be against those from a distance too. I throw shit at them.
Now then, away with you. Now then, away with you. You've no reason to risk your neck dawdling here, eh?
What? I'm confused. I defeated the boss there quite easily now. This is New Game Plus, by the way. I must be over leveled. Whoops. My bad. I'm one of those players that likes to grind some high levels because I was playing in a little harder way the first time through, but now I built a much easier version of my character that didn't require certain aspects of it.
I fear for Father's life. The servants are full wrath, filled with hatred for every one of us. They've since come for every one of the companions I escaped with. They haven't spared a soul. I fear it's no different at Castle Morn. Please, I implore you, would you mind taking a letter to my father at the castle, when my soul wishes that he escape, even if his honor should be the price? Please. I just want him to be safe. Thank you, dearly.
I thought I already had the letter.
Take this. Deliver it to my father, who remains in the castle, if you please.
Okay. So you just gotta look and see what happens when you look. Sacred is okay. Oracle. Or cult. Or a cult? Is that what they call it? See, it seems like flame art and sacred are what you get to use for faith. For some reason. That should be enough to get my level. It's not. Still need another 1,000. Oh, you kidding me? Ah, picky. I guess it's the purest form of faith I can do is fire. I'm of the fire faith, I guess. I guess that's when I'm going for the for that one ending. It makes sense, I guess. I'm going for the Frenzy Flamed ending. I guess Fire Faith build would be good for that. Dog found me out. Dog's like, stick. I like stick. Very creepy that dog started climbing that ladder. Feel a little prickled today. I wonder if I can get them all in just one go. Nope. Got a majority of them, though.
Now then, away with you. You've no reason to... I see. From Haruna. Thank you. I mean, you're dead. But I can't leave yet. if the castle should fall, as commander I must remain to ensure the treasured sword of Morn does not fall into the wrong hands. I'm in your debt. For keep I'm no longer once I've rescued Arena, I will spend my thanks to you and devote my Arena as I only hope it remains.
Okay, back down. Again. Yep. She did. His build is pretty strong, though.
How could this be? My daughter deserved better. The fault lies with me. I chose duty over my daughter's safety.
Yep.
And that is how fate has answered.
Yep. That's exactly how that works. You made your choice. And that choice got her killed. It's not a pleasant thing. Or does it mean it's not right either, but you think the world cares? The world doesn't give two shits. The real world is unforgiving, unpleasant, and unkind. That's just the truth of it. That's why a lot of these stories ends up with the people dying. I wonder why people think the world's fair. I mean, are you that privileged and entitled? Do you think the world's going to be fair for you? That's some luxury a lot of people don't have. Those who've seen the world for what it truly is are never ungrateful for what they get. Though there is a difference between being ungrateful and then there's just bitching because you want to vent. Yeah, I already cleaned out this graveyard. Cool. Okay, I need to go over here. That's it. I'm looking for over here. Kind of wish they gave us that bugle for a buff. We can blow it and then just. Oh, I'm coming for you. Just wait your turn. Asshole. Okay, now I need to head up the road here to go here. Gentlemen, it would be a pleasure to say I like. It would have been a pleasure to say I liked seeing you, but that would be a lie. Mush. Yeah, all I know is the lower your scaling is with your weapon, the higher stats need to be to make up the difference. That's all there is to it. Kind of weird how you're standing out here all alone.
Is anybody there? Someone who might be interested in rescuing the great Kenite, servant to the true order and celebrated repudiator of the false. Oh, you've come to lend me your aid, have you? Well, that's very kind, but no.
My scythe is through his chest.
Very much appreciated, even from a tarnished.
My scythe is inside of him.
Is no prerequisite to serving the true order. Might have heard of me, Kenneth Height. Next in line is the rightful ruler of Limgrave, the Untarnished. I would have a boon of you. I want you to take back my fort. It lies to the south, beyond the Mistwood. A knight commander from Stormvale took it. A fool, and plumb mad to boot. Simply obsessed with blood.
Yeah. It's a shame what I heard about Helldivers 2. And that game is gonna probably die off because of the stunt they just pulled. Forcing people to sign up for PlayStation, a PSN account. Why? You have a Steam account. They could just share data without needing to sign up. They've been doing it in the first place to begin with. Why do you need to link it now? You were already doing it. Does this armor have stealth properties I'm not aware of? I don't know why you can't have bloody slash on your scythe. It's already a bleed weapon. I don't want the thing yet. The medallion that you get here.
Right this way. Right this. Welcome, valued customer. Come, trade in our wandering emporium. Please, I'm hungry.
I don't want to talk about nothing, I guess, or whatnot. Yeah, this funny thing is there is a new era coming, the era of the indie game, but the problem is the indie game's gonna have to never trust a AAA or console game again for their practices are just horrible. PlayStation, I'm gonna have to get a PC or something because I can't keep this up. Though if I get a PC, I probably could run it a lot better. Granted, I don't know how it'll fare with my internet connection as bad as it is. But I need to try anyways. I mean, anything's better than what's been happening lately.
Broken echoes linger here, words of Queen Marika, who vanished long ago. If you wish, I will share them with you. Very well. In Marika's own words, my lord, and thy warriors, I divest each of thee of thy grace. With thine eyes dimmed, ye will be driven from the lands between. Ye will wage war in a land afar, where ye will live and die. Well, perhaps that might serve you in lieu of a maiden's guidance.
Man, this place has a lot of red ones.
I've been waiting for you with bated breath. Did you manage to recapture my fort? Oh, excellent news. Just wonderful. And the knight's dead to boot. Well done, my friend. Well done indeed. I knew I was right to trust you. Now, Here's your reward, as promised. Go ahead. It's all yours.
I kind of find it funny that it's really big text. Great EP. A great EP sword. EP. Oh, so it's the Great Rapier. I'm pretty much clearing out areas again because I need to get the stuff. Technically, if you get the Godskin Swaddling Cloth, you can become... there's a true health absorbing build too. With a high enough arcane, you can build one hell of a health absorb. Since apparently health absorption is also based off arcane a bit. Confused how that works, but it does. Sounds like I need to clean my PlayStation today. It's a PS4 Pro, back when PlayStation somewhat had some dignity left. But that's all gone now. I'm just seeing where this build leads me. This build, though, is leading me to one hell of a fire build. I don't really like to go take that elevator much because there's if you always go down the left side of these elevators, it seems, except for like a couple exceptions. You can find stuff on the left side of every elevator in every goddamn cave, and you always jump down on the third one. Thank God that flame has a little range to it. Yeet and delete. Hi, Potato King. Ow. What you doing? Seem a bit overpowered for this area. This is New Game Plus. That's probably why. Though this build would be easy to make since the max stats you need is 30 faith. Yeah, this dungeon wasn't that hard the first time I played through it either. Though granted, I did use a shield. Yeah, it all depends on how you want to play. Right now I made an unblockable build. You can't block this build with shields. It's gonna do damage regardless. Which is kinda funny. I'm gonna be doing the boss fight here in a minute, so if you wanna see me just devastate the thing real quick. If I remember which way to go. Kinda a little lost. And there's stuff hidden all over and whatnot. Wait, is this a dead end? Really? There's a lot of caves that look very similar to this one. Good news is, New Game Plus, you get to keep all your, bells that you gave the bell person. They keep all the bells, so if you do start a New Game Plus, you get to keep all that stuff. Okay. I came from up there. Grab all the smithing stones you can, because you're gonna need them. To a point. Find a weapon you like and get that sucker upgraded, because it's gonna be carrying your ass all the way through. Is there anything you don't keep? I sell any duplicates or items I don't feel like I want. For myself, anyways. Here's the boss. If you can call it a boss battle at my level. Just one of these guys. No biggie. As long as you stay away and you kill him pretty easily. Oh, New Game Plus, you keep all the bells you gave the husks. You keep all your weapons and armor you have obtained. You keep everything except for story-based stuff. Like letters and the Great Ruins. If it's story-based, you don't keep it. But everything else you keep. All the spells you've bought, all the weapons you've gotten, all the smithing stones, all the summoning, some ash of war, summoning ashes. You keep everything except for story-based stuff. That's it. Quest stuff and story stuff you don't get to keep. Everything you gave the husks, it didn't. I don't think you got to keep those before, but I think the update lets you. What's above your flasks in the bottom? It's above my flasks. Oh, those are my incantations. These are my incantations. That's all there is. The incantations and spells you buy go up there. When you go to memorize spells, they're above your flasks. That's how you cycle through them. Yeah, some of them you have to earn versus some of them you can buy. You get to keep all these though, these tiers. So you get, there's a lot of spells in the game. This is just incantations. These are spells. All depends on how you want to play. These require stabs, these require seals. And you get to keep all your talismans too, so you just get to keep a lot of shit. Yeah, I beat her. It took me about 2.5 hours. And I beat her with a shield twin blade katana build. Believe me, it was a hard fight. My God, that enemy was strong. Nah, not really. Thank God I just used this spell, or this is gonna hurt. Oh, let me solar her? Yeah. He fought her so many times he memorized the fight pattern. See, I got him with me though. He throws pots with status effects on them. Infinitely. He beats her 2,000 times. That from software sent him a sword. Yeah, I heard about that. That's over a couple years old now, isn't it? Time does fly when you don't realize this game's almost over 2 years old. Isn't it over 2 years old now, this game? Holy crap, where'd the time go? Why do we get so old so fast? Before you blink and then you're like, what happened? I'm wrinkly. Yeah, it's been 2 years. Holy shit. But what's good about this game, though, is you can fight with any weapon you want. You just have to might build around it a bit. Which is not a bad thing, either. Just depends on how you want to play. I wonder what's from Software's next game. Well, their DLC's coming out soon, so... that's going to keep things entertaining for a little while. Because they're going to add new weapons, Ash of Wars, change some things around. PvP is going to be changed a bit. A one round with Viking would be cool. Yeah, people make interesting builds on here. I just played through the whole game as a true shield wielder. Though I do hear they have they're adding in combat shields. So at least they finally got a shield that actually does what it's supposed to do a little. Vikings? They like to make their games, it seems From Software likes to make their games around the dark side of things. The stories are always bleak and gloomy and just outright dark in general. Yeah? Don't know. So, yeah. I don't know why that man's asking me where my mom is. She doesn't even want him around. But he won't leave. He doesn't need to know where she is either. He's still clingy though. They seem to be From Software really likes their fire though. They seem to make a lot of their games revolve around fire. So it seems that I've noticed a lot of them are based off fire and life and death and all that, and the struggle, of course, that makes the game interesting. Yeah, I've got to use the bathroom, so I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm back, sorry. Whew. My guts were killing me a little. Because they made one about samurai and the rest about knights, so the next one could be about Vikings to the Egyptians. I figure the next one probably, since they're so good, they so like the east and west sides of things, they might just make the next one more about what was it? Aztecs? The whole Aztec thing? I think something like that. Because Aztecs had a whole rich culture about end of the world and stuff. They could really play off that. By the way, the weapon these things carry, the weapons these guys carry, are actually really good. Aztecs were an advanced civilization that believed in human sacrificing. They had temples. They were all into that whole sacrificial stuff, blood, the sun, the moon. They had some interesting gods too to boot. I'm a little forgetful right now of them, but I remember it being quite interesting in mythology class. Egyptians are a bit played out, and I think a lot of people are not much into the Egyptian stuff right now. Comparatively, thanks to Assassin's Creed, the Egyptian stuff has kind of gone under. Not many people interested in it because Assassin's Creed botched it so bad. But they could probably, you know, make it better. That's all up to them on that. But the Aztecs have a richness to their mythology that they can really play into. And a lot of crazy looking weapons. I didn't like Origins that much. I just wanted to fight Templars. I didn't want nothing too fancy. You had the perfect amount of assassins and adventure in combat. The thing about assassins, though, is you're not supposed to be getting into combat. You're supposed to be stealthily taking out all your enemies. The combat would have been more stealth-based than anything. But they kind of lost that. Hence the whole point of assassins. Kind of loses its assassin's appeal if you're not, you know, being much of an assassin anymore. It's all up to the person's perspective on what's a good game. Again, users are a choice of how they want to play. That's true, but it kind of didn't do as well as they thought it would. That's why they're trying to change, that's why you haven't seen any new Assassin's Creed stuff in a while. Because they're not doing so hot with that title. So there won't be probably a new Assassin's game at all for a long while because of it. Other than the one they're trying to do right now, which is not doing so hot, I hear. The weird thing about the Assassin's Creed games, they had a niche. They were kind of a niche thing. They're going to release on a Samurai. Oh, Samaras. Yeah. Well, you hope for them to do their best. You hope they do good is all, but I wouldn't hold your breath if it's with AAA games right now. Especially when it's a Ubisoft game of all companies. Ubisoft has dropped the ball so hard. Hell, right now, Helldivers 2 is in bad shape. I can't believe that PlayStation pulled a stunt like they just did, nearly killing the game instantly overnight. That greed is just They're gonna force Steam players and people in other countries to make a PlayStation Network account, even though some countries cannot. Yeah. And because they did that, they're going to be losing millions of players instantly overnight. This was such a huge mistake that it can end up completely destroying Helldivers 2 because of it. All for PlayStation greed to take your data. Yeah, I only have a PlayStation for now, but I'm not gonna be on PlayStation for much longer from what's been happening. There's no way in hell I can put up with this much longer. Yeah, the fact they want to force you is something stupid entirely. That should not be a thing. It should never be a thing in video games. I get online multiplayer. Yeah, you have to be online to play it. But it's just as bad as Xbox saying you have to be online to play single player. That makes no sense. Do you want to go bankrupt? Do you want your company to lose the games and profits? Like, what are you thinking? Other than they're not thinking. They never needed a PlayStation Network account either to play the games at all. At one point, why now? Other than they want something out of it. It's greed. It's overwhelmingly greed. And that's not going to fly. It's mostly going to end up killing a lot of games. Which is a shame, because Helldivers 2 was such a good game. They did such a good job with it. Then PlayStation got greedy and destroyed Arrowhead, which was its own thing, away from PlayStation. It's just PlayStation decided to, put it on its platform. Is all. But that's the way it is now. Hopefully they'll undo it, because anyone who lives in China, Australia, Africa, Russia, what other countries? I know that there's only 69 countries that will allow it, but the rest of them won't. Which means that anyone from China just lost that game.
Well, it's been an age since how can I help?
Which sucks.
Have a safe journey.
I kind of feel bad for them. Even I'm looking for a way out of PlayStation at this point and just keep trying to get myself a PC. Because this is getting ridiculous. And I have hundreds to thousands of games. From the very beginning of the Atari and Coleco all the way up to modern day games. This also could be bad for business on PlayStation's end, because a lot of gaming companies might consider never partnering up with PlayStation, because they might pull the bait and switch like they just did now and force players to get an account, because PlayStation has a bad habit of getting hacked and all your personal information being sold and stolen. I think just this year alone there was 77 hacks. And like, what was it? Well over a million, 77 million accounts or something like that, where where the information was taken from. Granted, it will never happen to my account because my account is a prepaid card, so they ain't gonna get nothing off me. I didn't give them personal data to begin with, so they have nothing to sell. I go and buy the prepaid cards and shit and use those. No credit cards, no sensitive information whatsoever. How PlayStation doesn't even know my phone number or address, let alone. That's why that's why if PlayStation gets hacked, I don't lose anything, because I don't give them any information that is usable. It's all something that could easily be removed and destroyed and not need to worry about it myself personally. How PlayStation's confused half the time what my age is, let alone where I live or phone number or anything beyond that. No credit card information, nothing of that sort. I give them nothing to work with. I've been like that since I was a kid and internet was a brand new thing. I refuse to give any information that would be detrimental to my health. Because it's just not safe to put any of your... It's not safe to put any information on the internet. There's workarounds, of course. Prepaid cards, gift cards, stuff like that, that you don't have to give them anything of actual value. Though in some countries, I believe you have to give a facial identity and you have to use your an identity card to show who you really are. I believe Australia has that. If I remember right. So they'll have facial PlayStation will have your personal facial recognition just to play some Helldivers? God, no. Gaming, I think gaming's going through a dark age, but there will be, you know, good spots of gaming, of course. It ain't gonna be all doom and gloom and nothing good. But we may have to tighten our wallets a little bit. I mean, I haven't bought a PlayStation game in all this year, actually. Because of this crap. That's just how gaming's gonna be for a little bit. Everyone's gonna have to either buckle down or accept a new way of gaming. And if you buckle down, gaming will get better. If you don't, it's just gonna get worse. And eventually they'll demand your bank PIN number and your blood for some reason. God knows what they'll keep asking for if they keep getting away with this. They'll just ask for more and more and more until you give up everything of yourself. And I mean everything. They'll want to know where you work. They'll want to have control over if they're allowed to get you fired. They'll just keep... They'll go and go and go until they have everything. I'm not being exaggerating either. They will literally try to go for that. Gaming companies understand you're here to entertain us. Nothing more. You get nothing else from us either. This place gives you one of the 3 best summons in the game, which is kind of funny in its own way. This summons, though, gets lock off on itself. It'll get locked on easily, but it'll disappear and reappear, which causes the lock on to disappear off the summon, and you're targeted more than your summon is. That's the downside of it. The upside is it's got long range and close range combat, high health, and it's got a shield that defends itself. It can prolong a fight for quite a long time, depending on how powerful you make them. But I'm not a PlayStation fanboy, not even close. I'll switch any console to any product I can to play my games. I grew up too damn poor and lower middle class to pick one particular thing to stay with for all my life. That's acidine. I've had an Xbox, I've had a PlayStation, I have my Nintendo stuff. I used to have a PC, but that thing is so outdated I couldn't turn it off. I tried. But I guess I'll end it here after talking to Melina, I guess.
Spoken echoes of Queen Marika linger here as well. Shall I share them with you? In Marika's own words, then, after thy death, I will give back what I once claimed, return to the lands between, wage war, and brandish the Elden Ring, grow strong in the face of death. Warriors of my lord, Lord Godfrey.
Yeah, but that's it for me today. I played for a couple hours. I've had fun. I only seem really strong because this is New Game Plus and all. And I got these plus 25 and plus 10 items here. Surprisingly, this is a sturdy build. But yet it's still a medium load. Why is it still so heavy? No, I do find this move that really good for a scythe though. You can just like swing, 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 then go into a chain. They'll probably, I've seen it sends enemies flying, so it might do that. Though I wish they had more Asher Wars for the scythe, but it's very limiting. See, if you try to fix something like this stuff here, they just force you to. I guess it all depends on how you want to play, though. But I hope you enjoyed the stream. I'm gonna get off now. I'll probably take a nap or something. Bye.